I'm itching to know how you have been able to engage with smallholder farmers and how you've also been able to encourage them to embrace these regenerative practices, and indigenous crops. How have you been able to engage them?
Current generation of farmers, a lot of them have never grown the sorghum, millets, cowpeas, bambara nut. They've just been accustomed to growing the corn, the maize.
Okay.
So that is what they knew. Now, switching and bringing in a second or third crop, the innovation comes into how is this planted alongside? How is it intercrop? What space do you have to use in putting between the maize corn, the rows of maize? And how can you integrate that? Because harvesting maize and harvesting the leguminous crops is very different. So it has to be done by creating that ecosystem of planting and harvesting. So it becomes more intricate. So this is where the resistance comes in, because a farmer who is already monocropping, if you now start having to add in crops, plus they've also got to think of weeding. And then how do you mechanize that? How do you mechanize the harvesting? So all those complexities have to be discussed. And that's the innovation that we bring in, is because we provide the space to educate, to share, to exchange ideas with other farmers. Ancient grains are long rooted, so they offer the resilience and create soil health. But it wasn't enough to address it in that way. We had to bring in secured markets for the farmers by showcasing and telling farmers to grow additional crops. You're not going to have that kind of adoption. You've got to create the secured market value. If when farmers are asked to grow a certain crop, if you tell them that you will buy their surplus and you give them those contractual agreements where you are also providing the access to markets, that is the hook. And by building that trust, you're able now to bring about further training, more awareness, wildlife conservation, and helping farmers to adopt those practices. And also, it doesn't only end there. We also brought in recipe days where we were helping to bring back the way the crops are prepared and cooked in the communities, because
Okay.
a lot of the current farmers, they had forgotten or they didn't even know how do they cook sorghum, how do they prepare millet.